guys, welcome to another episode of Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. I'm Nick.
I'm Ian.
Today we're talking about Record Store Day Black Friday, which happened last week, and whether or not we think Record Store Day Black Friday should be kind of moved to a different part of the year or stay where it's at. There's a bunch of links down below. Make sure you go check them out. There's links for the Vinyl Den Facebook group, for the merch page, for the Spotify and Apple Music playlist we put together a week, and the Patreon page. So make sure you go check all that out. Of course, if you enjoy the episode, make sure you give us the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we release new episodes. So there always seems to be less hype around Record Store Day Black Friday. You know, it's always a smaller list. Record Store Day in April, there's always like 500 plus albums that get released. And then Black Friday, there's, less than half. There's I think this year is 175 albums. So there's always less demand for Record Store Day Black Friday. And of course, Record Store Day was created as a way to celebrate independent record stores.
Get people to the stores rather than buying online.
Exactly. And for the last several years, ever since I've been going to these Black Friday events, the lines have been kind of short. Mm-hmm. And
at least relative to the actual Record Store Day release.
So that's why I always wondered, or at least over the last couple of years, whether or not Black Friday, Black Friday is a good event to have sales and stuff on. Mm-hmm. But to actually drive people into record stores, would it be better if we moved it up to end of summer, did an end of summer or sometime in September event for record
Depends, because Record Store Day still is kind of fluid in terms of when it might go back to just being an annual thing. Because it
is now.
It is back in April officially?
It started last year as just an April event.
I honestly don't think they need to do anything at all. I think each individual store should be doing their own sales and their own special things. And there's nothing wrong with having special releases for the holidays, but I think it's kind of silly to try and label it as a Record Store Day thing. That's my opinion. It doesn't seem to make any sense because it devalues everything. Because how many of these releases that you're getting in November could have just as easily been released in April of that year, or wait until the April of the next year and be part of a much bigger celebration.
Yeah, I get that, and I guess the way I look at it is, you could still release all these albums if they did a September Record Store Day. Do one in April, do another one in September, mm-hmm. as like I said, an end of summer kind of deal, or beginning of fall kind of deal. And then for Black Friday, record stores can just do
their own sales,
which is what they do now.
Right. I mean, they're doing it anyway.
Yeah. A lot of record stores for Record Store Day Black Friday do a 10 or 15% off sale. Mm-hmm. So they're already kind of doing it. So why not do something maybe a little bit different and possibly drive more traffic into stores if they did something earlier in the year?
On top of that, they're already going to be getting slightly extra business over the holiday season anyway, because that's when people are going to start buying gift cards and for family members that they know are record collectors. Yeah. So, people that wouldn't normally go into the stores are going to go in there and say, I need a gift card because my grandson loves records or whatever. So they're already going to get extra business. Why not do, I know Record Store Day in April makes sense, but like you said, maybe having another separate thing before the holidays to kind of elevate the rest of the year. Because, the whole purpose of Black Friday is to get stores and retailers kind of closer to being in the black rather than the red. That's why they call it Black Friday. So why not try to do that earlier in the year? Yeah. If you're going to do that at all. I almost don't think we need to, but, anything to help keep the brick and mortars open.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing with Record Store Day. Spring Record Store Day is a lot of stores, a lot of independent retailers, at least here in the U.S., really rely on Record Store Day to boost their sales really for the year. Mm-hmm. There's some smaller record stores that if it wasn't for Record Store Day,
they might not be able to stay open.
They probably wouldn't be able to stay open.
Right.
Or at least have the inventory that they have. So maybe if you're able to do something like traditional Record Store Day in April and do something end of August or sometime in September, do a second Record Store Day event, mm-hmm. and then stores can just do a standard sale on Black Friday. Right. I think actually be an even bigger boost to record store days.
It could be
record stores,
and like I said, I think they're already most brick and mortars are already going to get a little bit of a boost for the holidays because every store does. So why not spread that out instead of dropping trying to get it all at once? Because you're never going to. It's never going to happen that way. But if you can spread it out a little bit, it seems to make more fiscal sense to me.
I know on the YouTube channel, whether it's like sometimes I talk about them in the Tuesday new release videos, or at least on Facebook. I always talk about like Walmart exclusives and Target exclusives, but to be completely honest, independent record stores like Dearborn Music is like it is the heartbeat, the lifeline of records and vinyl records and physical music, CDs, cassettes, whatever you listen to. If it wasn't for these independent retailers, we wouldn't have a lot of this music.
Yeah, because your Walmarts, your Targets are never going to carry.
They don't care
any selection.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you can get any new Taylor Swift album at Walmart or Target.
I will say
maybe a few greatest hits here and there, but
real quick. Speaking of Target actually does a really good job. Not in store. Their in-store selection is pretty horrible.
Right.
But if you actually go on their website, they've got an absolute ton of indie artists on their website you can buy vinyl.
Well, that's cool.
So Target actually does a pretty good job with that. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they're just because it's retail space that they know has marketability, but it's small.
Focused.
It's focused. Yeah. So without the brick and mortar record stores, you're never going to get any real variety of anything. So
yeah, and that's why I think Record Store Day is such an important thing, because like I said, it is. I know record store owners that have said to me before, if it wasn't for their Record Store Day sales, like I said, they wouldn't be able to keep their doors open, or at least their selection would be much smaller, and they probably wouldn't be able to carry new titles. It would only be used stuff.
Right.
So we of course Record Store Day is a really important thing, and that's why I think Record Store Day, Black Friday, I understand the purpose of it, but I think it would actually have a bigger impact to the bottom line of record stores if it was done a little bit earlier in the year. Because I know a couple years ago when they did those Record Store Day drops, there was like a June drop and then a October drop. I think there was a September drop. There was, I think 2021 or 2020, there was like 4 drops over the year.
And that was to spread it out so people weren't in line.
Yeah.
Which doesn't matter because you're dropping different things. It's still gonna.
But I know for me personally, I spent more money on those record store days because I didn't have a bunch to drop on one specific day. I was able to kind of spread it out, and I ended up spending more money. So that's why I said I think for a lot of people out there, if we did it maybe a little bit differently, you could end up with like 2.5 kind of record store days. During the year, even though Black Friday wouldn't be an actual record store day, it would be just like a sale day. It would probably boost a lot of their sales even higher than what they are.
And it would be nice for those of us who might camp out. In April, the weather's changing to get warmer. And then in September, it's still kind of warm, even though it's cooling down.
Yeah.
You're not, standing outside for, 12 hours in the freezing cold.
Yes, which in Michigan here, Black Friday, it's cold.
It could be snowing. Yeah, it could be 20 degrees outside.
Yeah. I've got a pretty good setup, though. I've got a little propane heater I bring with me. I'm nice and toasty warm, but not everyone has that ability to do that. But it makes it tolerable for me at least. Well, that's all I got for today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. Make sure you drop us a comment down below. Let us know what you guys think, whether or not they should do something a little bit differently with Record Store Day, because I know a lot of people have been talking online ever since this list came out that aren't impressed with it. There's a lot of people.
I wasn't. There's nothing I'm looking forward to, so I won't be going.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people I know that are at least talking on Facebook and Instagram about kind of the same way. That they look forward to things on Record Store Day in April, but Black Friday, generally, there's not a whole lot there, and I think there's even less this year. Even though I think for me personally, I think there's enough titles to make me want to go out and stand in line for.
In the past, there's always been 1 or 2 for me, but this year there's just nothing.
Yeah. So. But so maybe if they did things a little bit differently, it might have a better outcome. I don't know, but let us know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give us the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. That's all we got. Until next time.
Talk to y'all later.
Keep on spinning. Peace.